Hello and welcome. You're watching the newsroom. Breaking this hour. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered the military to carry out intense strikes on the Gaza Strip. The move comes after Netanyahu accused Hamas of violating the US brokered ceasefire. In a statement from his office, Israel said that following security consultations, the Prime Minister instructed the military to immediately launch powerful strikes in Gaza. Netanyahu's office has said that the directive was issued as a response to what he described as a ceasefire violation by Hamas. Now, following the temporary ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict in October 2025, Gazans transferred and reburied bodies at a cemetery in Deir el-Balah. The civil defense moved a number of bodies from the Al-Katiba area west of Gaza city to be laid to rest in Deir el-Balah, after family members were able to recognize some of them. Palestinian forensic teams at Nasser Hospital lack the necessary resources for proper identification, including cold storage and DNA testing facilities. Mourners have gathered at Deir el-Balah, and this is what they had to say.
انهم دفنوه في مقبرة جماعية، فأنا نفسي بس عشان أختي هيك ترتاح تشوف لو عظم ابنها مش مشكلة.
اليوم بداخل ساحة الكتيبة التي كانت مظهرا حضاريا في غزة اليوم تصبح مقبرة. نحاول حقيقة أن نقوم بإخراج الجثامين من هذا المكان إلى منطقة دير البلح، حيث الشهداء الذين لم يتم التعرف عليهم أو مجهولين الهوية تم تخصيص مقبرة في منطقة دير البلح لهذا الملف ولهذه تحديدا هذه القضية.
وفعليا انه المعمل الجنائي كله تبعنا راح، وانت عارف ان الامكانيات بغزه خلال الحرب انعدمت كلها، مش بس على قد انه الادله الجنائيه، كل الادارات الموجوده هون يعني تقدرش لا بمستشفى ولا بجامعه ولا باي حاجه تقدر عن طريق DNA تتعرف على جثه.
Now, news updates coming in from the United States. The US forces have killed 14 people in the Eastern Pacific after conducting airstrikes that destroyed 4 suspected drug smuggling boats. The same news have been confirmed by US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on an X post. He has mentioned that the strikes expanded their strikes and casualty count. These strikes carried out on October 27th bring the campaign to at least 57 since the operations began in early September across the Caribbean and Pacific. The forces carried out 3 lethal kinetic strikes in Eastern Pacific waters. During the first attack, 8 male narco-terrorists were aboard, while 4 were on the second vessel and 3 people were there on the third boat. Hegseth has also stated that a total of 14 narco-terrorists have been killed, while 1 survived the strikes. These strikes carried out today brings the death toll to over 57, as we mentioned before, and Washington's anti-terrorist campaign which began on September, has continued in the Eastern Pacific. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Dutch Foreign Minister David Van Wiel have spoken about their willingness to use frozen Russian assets to fund aid for Ukraine amid the ongoing military conflict with Russia. Here's what the Dutch FM had to say about the plan.
We're very much in favor now of finding a way of using the Russian frozen assets in order to have more financial aid and stability, or in the field of justice. Indeed, as you say, we are more than happy to host the advanced phases of the Tribunal on Aggression against Russia. We want to make sure that you know that the Netherlands is your...
Meanwhile, the Ukrainian president also spoke about the involvement of Chinese troops in the conflict, saying that he hopes China will help end the war instead of prolonging it. Listen in.
Ми бачимо, що Китай давав верстати для зброї Російської Федерації. Ми бачимо, що допомагає обходу санкцій. Ми бачимо, що є китайські найомники, найманці, які воювали проти українських військових. Ви знаєте, що у нас вони в полоні були деякі, так, ті, хто вижили. Ну і тому ми би дуже хотіли, щоб Китай тиснув на Росію закінчити цю війну і ні в якій формі не допомагав її продовжувати.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Zelensky has also repeated his call for strong security guarantees, saying that he hopes that such guarantees will help prevent Russian aggression in the future. Listen in.
Після ceasefire і маючи розуміння гарантій безпеки, відновити агресію, якщо є сильні гарантії безпеки, буде Росії дуже складно. Тому цей план приблизно на це і сфокусований. Я думаю, найближчі дні радники наші зустрінуться. Ми домовлялись приблизно п'ятниця-субота. І будуть обговорювати риси цього плану. Дякую.
Plans to export some of the weapons it produces to obtain additional funds to produce armaments for strikes against Russia. Ukrainian President Zelensky has announced that the program will begin exporting weapons from November, having earlier stated that they have identified 4 key markets to export Ukraine-made armaments to, namely the United States of America, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. President Zelensky has previously stated that Ukraine is capable of manufacturing certain types of weaponry on a scale far beyond what the country can currently afford. In fact, there are already specific categories where production has exceeded the actual military requirements, including a surplus of maritime drones, anti-tank weapons, and some other types of armaments. Now shifting our focus to Myanmar, parties approved to participate in